As part of the 12,000-mile service on the Triumph Tiger 900 Rally Pro, I was going to do a check of the wheels and spokes. And this is a tool that I had bought some time ago to check the spoke tension. And what it is a torque wrench with various bits. But I'll put a link in the description below. I got it off of Amazon, I believe. I got it some time ago. I've just never used it. It is very low torque values. So 2 Newton meters and up to 20, I believe. And the spokes on this Tiger is 3 Newton meter spec. So I needed to get a torque wrench that can go down accurately to 3 Newton meters, and this one goes to 2. Comes in a great case with a whole bunch of bits, like I said. It's got three Torx bits here, 10, 25, 30, and it's got a whole bunch of hex. It's all metric, 2, 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. Now the spokes on the Tiger they're going to need a 7mm socket. But this is the beast. Just a standard old ratchet, can go in both directions with this little switch here. Certificate of calibration in accordance with ISO 6789-1 2017 spec. And there it is right there. It says some guy named Alan Lynn certified it. Serial number 23034040. Test range 2 to 20. Test direction is clockwise. And set torque 2. Permissible 1.92 up to 2.08, and he got 2.03. Those are the numbers there. He tested it at 12. Permissible range is 11.52 to 12.48. 12.26 was achieved, and so on. Okay. So that's the test certificate that was tested whenever it was tested. Actually, March 13th, 2023. It also comes with some instructions here. There are some initial setup instructions, ongoing usage, and so on and so forth. The rest of it is just how to read the torque values on the thing and to set it up. It comes with a little extension piece here. Right, this is all quarter inch size. It comes with this little extension piece here, but this is not long enough for all the spokes that I need to tighten up. So I went ahead and I bought this one. This is an extension. It's a 9-inch extension, so I figure it's plenty long to clear the rotors and everything for the front, the 21-inch front wheel. So let's go to the bike and see how it works. Now I can tell you that all my spokes are in place last time I checked, and there have been no spokes that have been broken, knock on wood. And I have no idea what the current torque is on all those spokes. This is the sprocket side, so this is the busier side of the deal. On the other side, you've got the disc brake. On this side, the disc brake is on this side, and the reach to the spokes shouldn't be too hard. But with this design of this bike, the spokes, the nut is on the hub side here. So, it's kind of hard to get at. I'll have to figure out how to, what's the best angle to attack it from. And I think that it's going to be from this side, coming from the 3 o'clock, if you're looking at the wheel from the 3 o'clock position. Now, if I'm attacking it from the left side, I'm most likely going to be, attacking or tightening the spokes that are on the right side of the bike. Okay, so because the spokes go like that in that direction, I'm going to be tightening the nut on the far side, right? Because this is the axis that I need to get to, and you can see. I don't know if you can see that in the shot. Yes, you can. But the torque wrench would be right here. You see? It's a very subtle. Let me angle this down a little bit and zoom in. I've I've isolated this as the nut that I'm going to try, and I've got it there. I've got my torque wrench on set to 3 Newton meters, and you can see the clicking. So it is at least at 3 Newton meters. There's no slackness going on there. So that's essentially how I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to have to attack the right side spokes from the left side, and then go on the other side of the wheel and do the left side spokes from the right side. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is you find a spoke to start off with, and I'm going to start off with the spokes closest to the valve, okay, to the valve here, and then I'm going to just tap them. I think that the best tool to do this tap test, which is just an unscientific test, but it's probably a lighter screwdriver. This thing is fairly heavy. Can you hear that? They're two very close tones. So this one is tighter than this one. Okay. Now these two sound to be very similar to me. So hopefully, you know, they'll all be within range. But what I'm going to be doing is just tap testing them, making sure I can identify if anyone is way out. And if anyone is way out, I'm going to tighten that right away. But if not, and if they're all toning the same, then all I'm going to do is tap test all of them, get all of that done, and then I'm going to use this torque wrench here just to go and, you know, make sure with my extension here that all the nuts are tighter. Now, I have not heard in the forums of anybody's wheel failing, front wheel failing. I've only heard of back wheels, and it typically is on the sprocket side, I believe. I think that that's just a coincidence. You know, I'm not. We really don't know what's causing these things to fail. So whether it's on the sprocket side, which is the left, or on the disc brake side, which is the right, it probably is just a coincidence. I have not heard of any front wheel failing. So if you've heard of that, leave a comment below, and give me a link to to the testimony where somebody said that their front wheel failed. But I think it's all back wheel. So I'm going to start off with my rear wheel. I'm going to tap test all those spokes. I'm going to make sure that they're still, saying the same tune or tone. And then I'm going to just test them because I got this nice torque wrench to test it with. But in all seriousness, in the service manual, it says that you're supposed to do this spoke check every 6,000 miles. And knowing that these Acron GLM, Acron is the name of this, and I think this is the parent company, GLM, Acron. And they make a lot of wheels. I think that they have had some kind of problem with spokes. And a lot of people have had problems, and a couple of spokes breaking on their wheels, and they're bringing the wheels back and getting them replaced on the warranty by Triumph. But Triumph should really make a better job of getting their subcontractors act together, because this must be costing them a lot of money. And not to mention, the customer is going to be without their bike for a while this wheel is being shipped, if there's not a back order of wheels. And when you think about it, it's a whole brand new wheel for just 2 spokes. What does this also mean for us? Should we be bringing spokes along when we ride anywhere? You're going a long distance trip, you better have some spare spokes, This is dumb. I've never heard of this. But the fact of the matter is, it is in the maintenance schedule, and it says to check for loose or broken spokes. So this is my first spoke bike. Recent spoke bike. So maybe this is a thing, and it's in the maintenance schedule of any other manufacturer, BMW, whatever. I don't know. But you're supposed to check your spokes every so often, and at maximum every 6,000 miles. That's what's in the manual. Now there's 4 lines of spokes that need to be done. And I've checked all of these spokes on this rear wheel. And let me show you what I'm talking about. If you're looking at this video, you probably got this bike anyways, so you probably know what I'm talking about. But if you look at this, you'll see that there's spokes on the outer edges of the hub. So this one and one on the right outer edge right here, this one, and then there's 2 interior ones, right? So you've got to make sure that you keep count. And I've checked all of those nuts. I was able to check every single nut except one nut that is on the right outer side, because this the thing is, you've got to reach in between this. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Like, to get to these nuts here, like this one for example, I'm going to reach in like this behind that cable, and I'm going to get to that nut. You see how I got to that? I can get to it, and you can see it on the other side, right? I can get to it like this. And I just check the tightness. And it's more than 3 Newton meters. How much more? I don't know. Now, the question to be asked is, well, why don't you slacken off all of them in turn and then tighten them up to 3? Well, I don't know. That makes sense to me. But I'm also thinking, let sleeping dogs lie, right? So far, I've not had any failures in 12,000 miles. This has all been regular road riding. For regular road riding, the proof of the pudding is what you see here. I have not had any failures in 12,000 miles. So I'm not going to go ahead and slacken off all my spokes just to see if they're actually at 3 or if they're at 15 Newton meters or whatever. But all I know is I've got my torque wrench set to 3, and they're all not turning. So they're all clicking at, at 3, which means that they have at least 3 or more. Now, the point I was making is that on this side, because of this spoke here, there is one spoke I was not able to reach, and I think it's this guy right here, right? If you look at this guy right here, you see there is no slot that I can reach, and I can't put it in from here, obviously. So the only way to get to that spoke is to take this disc off, okay? There is no way you can get to that nut, right? I suppose you can get there flexible extensions. I don't know how accurate an extension would be with respect to the torque, especially such a low torque. So what I would do is just be satisfied that the tone is similar to adjacent spokes that I did manage to check, both with tone as well as with the torque wrench. And if the tone is the same as the adjacent spokes, then chances are it's got similar tightness, and I don't need to actually twist that one. All right, I don't actually have to check the torque on that particular one. But that, in this rear wheel, is the only, this one is the only nut that I was not able to do. Isn't that something? The outer ones on this side were a little bit tricky because the sprocket is right there. But I was able, I'm not going to go across and show you, but you get the idea. You see how I'm introducing this socket right now? This is pretty much the angle that I've got to do it. And I've got to line it up. The angle of attack has got to be right up against that chain, okay? Probably in between the 2 links. So you can reach all of the outermost nuts on the left side, but it's close, and you're going to be bracing up against the chain. But this one here, you can't get at all. Let's go see what the front wheel looks like. Now, the front wheel of the bike has got a lot more room, so I should be able to get to all of the nuts. Now, from experience with the back wheel, the outermost, like this one, I'm looking at this from the left side. I'm on the left side of the bike. Looking at these nuts here, obviously I'm going to have to reach in between the disc, try and get to it. But I would expect that the inner ones, these inner ones here, I would be able to get to quite easily, I would think. Note that I've got a floor jack underneath the sump of the engine to raise this front wheel to make it easier for me to rotate as I do my checks. And preliminary checks show that the inner, you can't see it from there, but the inner set of nuts is easy to reach. So here's the wrench where it is with respect to the tire. So the 9-inch extension is perfect. You want a 9-inch extension to do this bike, okay? So the 9-inch extension is great. You can see where the head of the thing is. And then right down in there, you probably can see the nut. I'm going to go ahead off camera and try and tighten up all of these. The outer ones are going to be a bitch because these ones here on the outside, I'm going to have to reach through the discs to get to those. Now, as it turns out, the front wheel is worse for access to these outer. The inner ones are no problem, but the outer ones is worse than the back wheel because of the design of the disc. You see this this structure here gets into the way. Let me see if I can demonstrate to you. Right now, I can't get the right angle for this one. But the next one, this one here, I can get to from underneath. So I can get this one to check it, right? I can check that one. But the next one, the very next one, there's no way I can get access to this from this way or from behind here, or even going from behind here. The angle wouldn't be correct for the spoke, so it'll slip. So basically what I'm saying is on the outer set of nuts, you probably get about 50% or a little bit less. Maybe 40% of them you can check with this extension piece. So the thing is, you do need a flexible extension. How flexible the flexible extension will be and how accurate will be after that, I don't know. But I'm going to look into picking it up. But the good news is I have tested all of my spokes and they're all, you know, they're all similar sound, slightly off, of course, but they're all similar sounding. And the spokes that I did check, they were all, you know, at least 3 Newton meters is what I can say. So now I know what you probably are thinking. Well, if you're not going to back it off, right? If you're not going to bother to back it off and then retighten the 3 Newton meters, then, you know, what's the sense of having the torque wrench in the first place? And that's a valid point. You know, right now I have no idea if the correct torque are on my spokes. I mean, it could be high torque, it could be just, it could be 4, it could be 5, it could be 15, it could be 25, it could be 100 for all I know. If the thing is over torqued, then it has too much residual tension in the spoke, so that if you get a good bang as you're riding off-road or whatever caused these things to fail, some people are saying they're just riding down the road and it just gives. So it could be already yielded, the spokes could already have been yielded, and they're just waiting to fail. So who knows what the tension of these spokes from the factory are. We can only hope that they're close to the 3, but we've been getting these failures, and you know, so there's no explanation for them. Triumph is not saying anything. They're just replacing the wheels on the warranty, and nobody knows any of the wiser. Some of the replacement wheels have also been failing rather quickly as well. So there is little confidence in these Acront wheels. Some people are, you know, reaching out to manufacturers to try and see if we can get different spokes made, but that's not proving to be very easy to get done. So the only recourse we have is to have a few spare spokes and to keep checking them periodically. Hopefully find this video useful. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, consider subscribing to the channel, leave a comment and share the video. You know, I'm no expert, but I'm just going to go through maintaining my bike and sharing these experiences with you in the hopes that it may be useful to you, or maybe you can tell me, you know, different and better ways to do things. I've never done this before, And I'm learning as I'm going along. I'm following in the forums. I'm seeing the problems that other people have had. So far, knock on wood, this tiger has been very, very good to me. I've not had any problems with it. I got my spokes checked. Uh, in the fullness of time, I probably get an extension that is flexible. But right now, I'm not concerned. Talk to you later. Keep the shiny side up. Stay safe.